Intel is coming out with a new chip. Its code name is Haswell. The chip is going to have an extended battery life and will power up in about 3 seconds. Now, if you'll recall, Intel really lost sight of the market because it sold its processing company that made mobile chips. It went all in on the high-end, big power chip, but as a result of that, it lost a lot of its market share towards the chips that went into iPhones. Well, now it's come out with this new chip, the Haswell, and it's looking like it's going to be a hit with the PC makers as well as the phone makers as well as investors. I'm joined by Zev Spiro. He's the chief technician over at Oryx Research. So when we look at this Intel stock, in the last 6 months, it looks like investors are liking the idea of this new chip because the stock's been moving up.
Yes, well, since April, the minor trend has been, we've been moving higher, and over the past month, we consolidated that up move since April. Yesterday, there was a positive breakout as we broke out of that consolidation, and we could easily move up to the next significant overhead resistance level in the 2875 area. That level's been heavy overhead resistance since going back to 2003, 2004. So the minor trend looks great, and we could definitely see some more upward momentum in the near term.
All right, so like you said, if we look really far back, we dial back that chart pretty far, it did seem like the company, you can see the struggles in it when people kind of gave up on it, felt like they missed the mobile market. So it's got a lot of work to do to get back to those old levels.
Yeah, but again, after that breakout, I think we're going to see some positive momentum and we're going to get a push up to those areas. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. If we see a confirmed breakout above that 2875 level, that could trigger a long-term bottoming pattern that has been forming since 2003, 2004. And that would be a really significant event that could lead to much higher prices. So traders or investors should really be focusing on that level. We could easily see pullbacks from that level, though, before we actually get a breakout. There's no time on that. It could take a year before we break out, but once there is a breakout above 2875, we're going much higher.
All right, so 2875, that's the line in the sand for Intel stock. How much higher could it go?
We've got a minimum expected price objective of $45 if we break above that level. That's based on measuring the height of the long-term bottoming pattern.
Well, Samsung is going to be putting this Intel chip into its new tablet, and the tablet is getting a lot of rave reviews. It's an 8-inch tablet, a great pixel image. It looks like everyone is loving the way it fits in their hands. So if Samsung tablet does well, and this new Intel chip is in this tablet, well, it could, get investors past that 28 mark, right?
I guess so. But
we will keep our eye on that chart. That $28 mark is the mark that Zev is keeping his eye on. And we're going to, of course, listen in on how many chips are sold, how well the response is to this Haswell chip. That was Zev Spiro from Oryx Research, and I'm Deborah Borchardt with The Street.